Kind of like that. Alright, so, this is going to be Game 3 of the 3rd and 4th place match, the Consolation match. It's going to be between Feel the Vibe and Point Defense. Bonus game, guys, because the finals are over. I'm not going to tell you who won. You guys can go watch the VODs if you're a VOD viewer, but if you're in the live stream, you already know what's up. So we're going to see who takes the 3rd or 4th place here. This game had actually just started. I'm going to be solo commentating this game because Bird actually had to leave, unfortunately, because he had other stuff going on, only planned for things. Well, however, whatever reason he had to duck out for is totally fine. I got this under control. Spider! Maybe I don't have this under control. I think I'll be able to keep a lid on it. So, look at the starting items here. Nothing seems too out of the ordinary. It looks like Nunu opening with a chalice. And then on the other team, we have some dudes. Who's going bottom over here? Who's their bottom laner? I don't actually know. Sauron? Ah, calm down, Brandon. You're on fire. I know. It'll be okay. Brandon, it'll be okay. Alright. Cool. It looks like Brand could be going bottom. Nunu bottom. Everyone else is going to be up in the top lane. We're going to see some more Nidalee play. And we're going to see Lieutenant Apron Man go up there and do some work. Everything looks pretty standard. Boots, Prospector's items. Elise going for that Haunting Guys right off the bat. Seeing some more Jarvan play. Jarvan, a really popular pick in Dominion. We'll introduce the teams real quick. Feel the Vibe on the left. Netorare Man as Nidalee. HaIfhearted as Elise. Armor as Maokai. Dienovv as Jarvan the 4th. And Nunu as Nix87. Nunu playing as Nix87. And over on Point Defense's side of the team, we have Sauron playing as Brand, hipeoples playing as Leona, ZaberZ playing as Annie, MagiMelkor playing as Pantheon, and MMKH playing as Singed. Both teams heading up to the top of the windmill at the moment. There's that throw to the fruit stand right there. They're going to catch HaIfhearted right away, put a bunch of damage on him. HaIfhearted going to be able to maybe escape with that repel. No, goes in for Melkor instead, pops the revive right away, heading back on up to the fight. Pantheon retreats up to the top and begins trying to capture it, but his health is so low, living off of just that healing potion for the most part. ZaberZ HP, I'm scared for it. He's got to back out of the fight a little bit, waits for cooldowns before turning back around and putting a little bit more damage into the fight. HaIfhearted comes back, checks over there with the skill shot, doesn't find anyone. MMKH retreating, they want to get rid of hipeoples because how hipeoples is really disruptive. Repels right over the wall. MMKH, there's spiders. You gotta be careful, you gotta look out, they're coming from the sky. It's a bad place to be, and they've taken control of that fight pretty well. They've got the windmill now, and we'll see if they can hold on to it. It's just HaIfhearted up there. Uh-oh, he gets caught off with the stun, but Annie's not quite close enough. Is Annie going to be able to connect? No, unfortunately. Annie does not get close enough to deliver a follow-up stun to that. MMKH does see HaIfhearted, throws down the slow. Not going for an engagement, though. In the bottom lane, though, Leona coming in behind Nix87. We'll see how this plays out. Going to see that bout with that Shield of Daybreak right there. Follows up with another stun from Brand right away. And then follows up with, are we going to see the Solar Flare? She's not 6, so we are not. Nunu going to go down. Pantheon on his way down here as well. And it looks like they are going to go for that tower immediately. Netorare Man's Nidalee is going down for the bottom right away. We're going to see that spear toss right there. Whoop! Stab! MagiMelkor takes 300 or so damage, and it's not very friendly. On the opposite side of the map, Annie has found a spider, and she doesn't like it. So she's retreating from that point right there. Looks like Brand is back down here in the lane. Nunu heading back as well. We got Nidalee heading back up to the top, and now hipeoples and HaIfhearted spider form right there, dodges the stun, it looks like, and starts to retreat right away. Netorare Man's getting a little bit too close, can't really deliver that damage from that distance, gotta be further away. The Zenith Blade does not connect, fortunately. MagiMelkor coming in now, it's one stun away from disaster for HaIfhearted, and he does take that stun, does get killed, unfortunately. Leona picks up the KB on that. Now Armor's getting low on health, but oh, Leona, that's a spear, and you don't like it. Gets hit. Nidalee able to pick up that kill, and now Melkor being chased down by Netorare Man and taken down with that swipe right there, but having to come down as well to help stop this. Are we going to see one-hit KO? Nope, not quite, but that could have been disastrous for Sauron had it connected. And now Netorare Man's going to try and take this point back. Is Sauron going to hang around and try and delay for a little bit? It looks like he is. Throws down the Pillar of Flame right there. Does a little bit of damage. Netorare Man's keeping Sauron zoned away. Pantheon coming down. Is he going to land in time to stop it? No, not quite, unfortunately. Misses it. just by a hair, and the neutral does happen. He was trying to keep that from getting captured, so he had the defender's advantage on his side for when it happened, but he wasn't able to get it. Now, Sauron might be able to keep this point neutral if he stays down here for a little bit, which is going to force a lopsided engagement up at the top. MMKH and J4 are having a little bit of a discussion, but ZaberZ and HaIfhearted are trying to find out where HaIfhearted went. He's moving on up to the top. He's got that Storm Shield ready to go, and MMKH gets a free trip back to the Summoner platform. Although Dienovv is stunned, they're able to kill him pretty quickly. Now it's a 2v1. Tibbers is in play also, so to add that extra damage, and hopefully, maybe Tibbers will play with the spiders, keep him away a little bit. And that Disintegrate going down right there. Got the flames going off, got the stun, and Elise is taken down. They're going to be able to get the neutral off on this, for sure. But I don't think that they can get the other before he arrives. Nope, the Garrison! I'm not as sure as I thought I was. Minions are up there, and they're trying to help out as best they can, but they're caught in the Vengeful Maelstrom, so they take some damage from that, and the point goes neutral anyway because of the minions. I was secretly sure I had a backup plan. ZaberZ has to retreat from the fight for getting low on hit points. HaIfhearted's going to stay there. Dienov's going to interrupt it. And Pantheon is coming up to the top. Maokai was able to take down Annie. And now, Jarvan gets killed, unfortunately. So now it's up to Armor to keep this point neutral to stop the clock from ticking down in either direction. He does want to delay for as long as he can. And that's not going to be too much longer, unfortunately. Middle of the map here, MMKH keeping Netorare man away, doing a little bit of damage there, at least on that lower part of the map. No spear connecting with anyone over there. Good point defense, got the windmill. Sauron and Nyx having a little fight down here, but we got Elise coming down from the top, and he's got gets him with a bunch of DPS right off the bat, and takes him down. Now, HaIfhearted's got to try and defend this by himself. Nope, Annie is there. Just came in from off-screen as well. And it's a little bit hurt right there, but now her stuff's on cooldown. She's a little bit useless for a couple of seconds. Repel up and down on the other side of Sauron, but gonna get killed, unfortunately. They do go back to start capturing that point. Up at the top end of the map, MMKH gets low on health. Pantheon trying to keep him alive by zoning enemy team. Oh, that hurt a lot. Melkor, be careful. Spear versus spear! Versus stun. Melkor trying to stay alive. Oh, gets airborne. Defensive Garrison on the tower right there. I think that was thrown down by MMKH. Yes, it was. And he's going to keep them delayed a little bit up there. That's why he didn't want to go back. Despite being low on hit points, able to delay that tower a little bit longer. ZaberZ going in. Oh, J4 doesn't want any of that. Tibbers! Trying to start a forest fire right there with Maokai. Maokai doesn't want it. Sauron's still trying to burn down Nyx in the bottom lane. Slowly winning that. We're going to see some spears. We're going to see him try and go for Annie. Nope. And he's just a little bit too far away right now. Got a gank going on down the bottom lane. HaIfhearted comes down here. The Pillar of Flame goes off, but not able to kill Nyx, unfortunately. Not going to burn for enough damage, especially since Nunu just ate a minion. Netorare man, HaIfhearted's having a disagreement. Pantheon coming in from the back. He wants to get a hold of Netorare man. Judge right past Dienov's J4 door to get to it, but Nidalee's got that heal, got that health relic at the same time. Shape changes out. She could get a sick kill on Pantheon, but nope, not going to go for it. Instead, almost taking out HaIfhearted's. A little bit scary right there. Throwing down the trap. HaIfhearted's going up around the back. Checks the bush with the spear, doesn't find anyone. Annie gonna try and defend. Solo Annie. Annie, you're 8. You can't quite do that. Molten Shield helping out quite a bit there. Bottom lane, ganks happening again. Nyx is kind of in a bad position right there, backed up behind enemy tower. HaIfhearted takes some damage right there. Nyx gonna get cleaned up pretty easily there. And HaIfhearted is gonna go back? Or will he stay? It looks like he's going to stay. But what's he looking for? Oh, stare out HaIfhearted. Get the spider bomb going on. MMKH tries to throw down the slow, but doesn't quite connect. Tags a couple spiders, but doesn't actually get HaIfhearted. HaIfhearted intercepts that spear. Now Dienovv over here by the speed shrine doesn't see anything, so doesn't think anything's going on, but there is a Pantheon right there, so beware that tall grass. I'm going to be careful about that. Sauron and MMKH down here in the bottom lane, pushing up closer and closer. MMKH is revealed to try and connect with the stun on Nidalee, but they don't land it yet. Will we see it? Nope, not there. Sauron and MMKH. MMKH needs to close distance to be able to really do anything effective. Things are going differently on the upper end of the map, though. Armor trying to defend the point by himself, not quite able to do so. The defensive Garrison has been thrown down to prevent them, or well, to delay them at least in capturing it. But I don't think they're going to be able to save it. HaIfhearted's just trying so hard to get repellent on ZaberZ, but the point, oh, barely alive still. keeps it for a couple of seconds. Down the bottom, the Absolute Zero connects with Sauron for a good chunk of his health. And we see a couple of hits right there on those minions, taking him down, making him withdraw from that minion bank, getting that paycheck. Armor, only you can prevent forest fires, goes in for Annie right there, catches her with a little bit of an airborne. That Molten Shield is so good on Annie. It lasts for such a long time and gives her so much resistance. I mean, just increases armor and magic resistance by 20. And it's only level 1 of the shield. Like, it gets crazy later. It just lasts for such a long time and gives so much armor and MR that Annie is highly resistant to stuff. She's highly resistant to prayers, maybe. Dienovv getting the exhaust right there, and oh, J4 doesn't believe in walls. Get out. J4, the Demacia escape right there. And ZaberZ taking some damage right there. Netorare man wants to kill HaIfhearted. No, gonna flash on out. Oh, that spear taking her down, catching Leona right in the back. But Dienovv circles around. He wants to get rid of Annie and erases her from the from the point. Melkor is still hanging around up there, but the longer he stays, there's more time for Dienovv to get in and get the killing blow. In the bottom lane, Spider Lady. Boom. MMKH got the little shield right there, throws down the, what gave him that? I don't actually know. Throws down the Seraph's Embrace. What? Throws down the Seraph's Embrace for the shield. I actually hadn't seen that built. MMKH, that's scary. Oh, throws that. Whoa, that was a neat little graphical glitch with the spear appearing on one side while she was on the other. Throw mechanics, how do they work? Point still neutral down here in the bottom lane. No, that spear connecting with HaIfhearted right there, taking him down. And now, HaIfhearted's getting lower and lower on health. Nidalee trying to chip in with that DPS. Pantheon coming down. Is he going to be able to save Leona? Yes, for now, though. Melkor does get taken out. He's able to get rid of Annie in the exchange. Netorare man still really low on health. MMKH on his way back. Just one spear away from disaster. Decides to spend it on MMKH instead. And adds that Blackfire Torch dot. MMKH diving. He throws Nyx back. But what they really want to do is... Oh, the damage. The spears. They sting so bad. Stop that channeling. Stun goes off. Interrupts Nunu right there, and MMKH getting taken down. Netorare man just gets to stand in the back and keep DPS, and they really need to get control over Nidalee. The Pyroclasm does take him down finally, but in the last couple of engagements, he'd been able to contribute so much damage by being able to sit back and spear again and again and again. HaIfhearted and Nyx now have a little bit of a disagreement of sorts over here. I don't think either one particularly has an advantage of the other. I'd say I'd have to give it to HaIfhearted because he has more mana right now, and the defender's advantage of the tower. Zenith Blade goes off. Does a little bit of damage right there, throws down the stun, Eclipse combo, but Nyx just keeps healing up. He's got that sustain with Nunu, eats those minions. Sauron comes back, Solar Flare does not connect, unfortunately. Trying to set up the combo for Sauron to capitalize on, but we're not able to do it. Middle of the map, however, HaIfhearted over there, MagiMelkor right there, and uh-oh, that burst damage! Look at it go! Spiders are not good! They're not good for your health. That's what happens when spiders get you. It's bad. Now, MMKH, armor right there, catching him, and stun goes off on Netorare man. ZaberZ is able to get away a little bit right there. HaIfhearted's back up in the upper end of the map, and just being able to catch them one at a time like that is really helping them, because they don't have to deal with the full power of the enemy team if they can catch them individually. And the snare from Elise is so good. Being able to lock people down and enable setup for anyone else's abilities right there. The spear lands, takes down Annie. We're going to start turning around the drill. But HaIfhearted and MagiMelkor are having another discussion. It's about politics. And Melkor is losing! Cataclysm is the trump card that wins. And that is the Godwin of the argument right there. HaIfhearted, whoa, HaIfhearted barely alive. Sauron has to pitch in an extra ability right there to get him down. But while he wandered away, Nyx is going to stay in the bottom lane and play. And take that neutral there. And Sauron might get killed here. Might is a yes. ZaberZ comes down there. The Absolute Zero goes off. Forces ZaberZ away because ZaberZ doesn't want to take the full damage from it. Nyx pops it right before he exits with the Molten Shield. Helps negate some of it. So they've picked up a 4th capture now. It's 4 captures to 1. And they've got to break a point, or they've got to just let this point go and go for the upper 2. One or the other. Nyx is delaying for a little bit down here. We'll see how long he can last. Nunu doesn't have a lot of damaging abilities, unfortunately. He's got the Absolute Zero and he's got the Snowball. And that's about all he's got going for him. Consume doesn't work on people, unfortunately, and you can't eat Annie no matter how small she is. You might be able to eat Tibbers, I don't know. Nyx pops a little bit more health right there, but catches Sauron the stun to the face, and they're going to pick that point back up. At the top of the map, though, they really don't have any way to capitalize on this. It's just HaIfhearted up here, And Elise coming around from the back, it's going to be 2 versus Leona, and Leona's probably going to get cleaned up, especially once HaIfhearted goes into spider form. The solar flare goes down, but all that does is buy hipeoples time. And I don't know if Singe is going to be able to get up here fast enough or be able to do enough damage to take care of business. Got Annie and Melkor's Pantheon on their way up, and once those guys get here, they might be able to do something. The stun goes off on Armor. Melkor follows up with a stun of his own, and they're able to take him down. Now HaIfhearted is going to retreat to the point, and now once they've got 3 people up here, it seems to be okay, especially since Leona isn't up there. It's not, Leona being up there is not that big of an issue, actually, because it'd still be a lopsided fight. So Garrison goes off, Dienovv saves it for a little while, but he still has to lay 1v4. I don't know if that's so great or not, because even though he spent the Garrison, it's only going to buy him a little bit more time, and there's just no one to take advantage of that. They still got the point after all. It bought him a few seconds of Nexus health, and that's really all it did. Sauron got absolute 0 to the face for all of the damage you've ever seen. It was very unfortunate. Nunu still has control of the bottom point there. So even though they've got the windmill, they still lost the bottom again. They need to take that back. HaIfhearted comes down, hipeoples to the solar flare, gets the stun off. ZaberZ trying to stay back away from Elise and HaIfhearted to avoid the extra auto attack damage. See him zoning off by wedging hipeoples in between. ZaberZ just barely alive right there, circling around, and uh-oh, Dienovv, I don't like it, kills Annie right there. Now hipeoples and Dienovv have found each other, but Dienovv has significantly more health and mana than hipeoples, so it's going to be really difficult for hipeoples to come out of this in one piece. Now hipeoples is doing a lot of kiting, wants to, keep Dienovv from going elsewhere, but Dienovv's not taking it. He's going to go back and clean up some of those minions over there by the tower. Nidalee takes some damage, tries to deliver a spear, but doesn't really find anyone to connect with it. The bottom point getting progressively lower on the capture rate. If they can keep feeding minions into it, uh-oh, the flings, the flash happens, and that saves Netorare, because if he'd gotten flung in to Brand, that probably would have spelled disaster for him. And that would have led to a 2v1 bottom, which would have been nasty. Dienovv getting pursued by a couple people now. Action's been very, very continual throughout this entire game right there. Melkor, that's not a good place to be! Oh dear, walking into those bushes, not knowing that they were there. He currently did not have a Grez's in order to check that beforehand. He walked right into that trap. Sauron trying to defend down the bottom lane, but they're going to flip this point around as well. MMKH taking tons. Sauron can't escape because of the Cataclysm. And the Boneyard is going to flip over, but there's that lopsided engagement I was talking about when they have so many committed down there, play games up at the top, take the other top, and it looks like that's what hipeoples and ZaberZ are going for right now. That bottom has been secured by the main team, but if they change this around, it still puts them up or tied in captures. And nope, interception! hipeoples knows exactly what was going on, knew exactly where to step, popped the Eclipse right beforehand for the extra MOR on top of it to mitigate the damage even further. Zenith Blade doesn't connect because Netorare was smart enough to not be in the bushes for that. HaIfhearted hanging around over here. Pantheon over there. A couple people heading down to the bottom end of the map. The Absolute Zero is going to go off again. And, oh! Safety Sauron turns into gold. And Nyx gets taken down. So they're going to be able to pick up this bottom point probably pretty easily. Netorare trying to backcap here, but Pantheon's going to go for that instead. Now if Netorare retreats straight back, it's going to be bad. But no, he decided to stay, and the Disintegrate picks up the kill. HaIfhearted and hipeoples have started a fight over here. Dienovv going to help out a little bit. And the Solar Flare pauses the fight for just a second. It's enough time for ZaberZ to get in and save Leona for just a couple of moments. Ultimately, Dienovv was able to succeed there. Now ZaberZ is chasing Dienovv. Dienovv, what? That was a different direction. I'm not sure quite what he was going for right there, but he wasn't able to connect. It looks like he was trying to finish off ZaberZ. Turns around with the Cataclysm, but nope. Tibbers. Tibbers with that extra DPS. Really helped out. MMKH going for the back cap on the bottom now. They just keep getting lower and lower on Nexus health, and it's all been because of that bottom lane. Nyx has been really dominant down there. Sauron's kept losing the point. When they do get it back, they don't hold it for very long. And now, on top of that, Netorare is going for the windmill because there was just no one up there, so why not? If there's an undefended point, see if you can get the neutral off on it. Solar Flare doesn't connect fast enough, unfortunately. How long can hipeoples keep this neutral? Netorare should be able to win this fight, actually, against hipeoples. Especially with Annie coming up here from the back, and now Netorare's going to probably eat a stun. He gets exhausted too, and oh, saving from all of that stun and Zenith Blade goodness. But the Shield of Daybreak catches him, and he gets taken down as well. But because of the Wooglets was able to delay for long enough for J4 to get there, HaIfhearted coming in from the back now. Maokai following it up. It's going to be a 3 versus 1. looking to be in Field of Vibe's favor right here. ZaberZ not able to get to that health relic. Oh, HaIfhearted picking it up instead. He wants that gummy health relic candy so much. Spear from Netorare man right to the face, taking down Leona. And now we can see MMKH going for the refinery, trying to get another capture going. They just really need a neutral point in order to stop the clock so they can keep the game going. And he's got the neutral off on it. But how long is that going to last? Netorare man is interrupted over here. And if they kill MMKH, they'll be able to get this point back. So it's only going to stop the clock for a small amount of time, but look at the bottom lane. Nunu once again able to get up and get a hold of the point. Going to get the neutral off on that, and that's going to seal the deal for the game. Once this point goes neutral, they're not going to be able to get to two different places to make two caps in order to finish the game and take it home. So point defense is going to lose. Unfortunately, I'm a big fan of point defense, which makes me sad. But Field of Vibe is going to take the win. This was the game 3 of the Consolation, so Field of Vibe takes the victory, and they're going to pick up the 3rd place. Point defense is going to take 4th place, and this